Okay, I'm looking at problem 2b. Given the equation y equals 3x minus 7, write a perpendicular equation to the given line going through the point -2, 3. So very similar to part A, except this equation we're writing needs to be perpendicular instead of parallel to the given line. So with your parallel equation, you wanted the same slope, but with the perpendicular equation, you want an opposite reciprocal slope. So the slope of your given line, since it's in slope-intercept form, is the number in front of x. So your slope of the given line is 3. So the slope of the line that I'm writing the equation for needs to have the opposite, so this is positive, so our slope needs to be negative, reciprocal, which means we need to flip that fraction. So we know 3 is the same thing as 3 over 1, so when we flip that, we get -1/3 as our new slope. So now we have an option to write the equation of the line. We can use point slope form, which is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1, or we can use slope intercept form, and I will show you both ways. So if we use point slope form, our point that we're given goes in for the x1 and the y1 in the point slope formula. The slope obviously goes in for m. So we would have y minus, our y1 is a 3, equals m, which is -1/3, times x minus our x1, which is -2. So minus a -2 makes that become +2. Then we need to get rid of our parentheses by distributing the slope. And so our left side is still y minus 3. -1/3 times x is -1/3 x. -1/3 times a +2, a negative times a positive is negative. 1/3 times 2, you multiply the numerators. 1 times 2 is 2. And the denominators. 3 times an understood 1 is a 3. So now we need to get y by itself to get it in slope-intercept form. So we need to add 3 to both sides. Now when we add -3 and 3, that cancels and we're left with y by itself on the left side equals -1/3 x. We don't have another x term to add to it. When we add -2/3 plus 3, you can only add fractions if they have a like denominator. So this one has a denominator of 3, so we want to rewrite 3 so that it has a denominator of 3. So this 3 has an understood denominator of 1. So 1 times 3 gives me 3. So if I multiply the denominator by 3, I need to multiply the numerator by 3 as well to get an equivalent fraction. 3 times 3 is 9. So 9/3 is the same thing as 3. So I'm adding 9/3 to a -2/3. So my denominator obviously is going to be 3 because that's the common denominator, and -2 plus 9 is a +7. So -2/3 plus 9/3 is a +7/3. So this is the equation in slope-intercept form. Don't forget, you can put this point in for x and y to make sure that it satisfies the equation. Let's look at slope-intercept form. I need to know my y-intercept so I can write my equation. So I need numbers to go in for y, m, and x. My slope is the -1/3. My x and y will come from my point. So I'll put the 3 in for the y, the -1/3 in for the m, the -2 in for x, and now I can solve for b. So -1/3 times -2, a negative times a negative is positive, 2 times 1 is 2 in the numerator, 3 times an understood denominator of 1 would give me a 3 in the denominator. So I have 3 equals 2/3 plus b. So to solve for b, I would need to undo this addition by subtracting 2/3 from both sides. So once again, I have to have that common denominator. We already know 3 is the same thing as 9/3. So think of this 3 as 9/3 minus 2/3 gives me 7/3. 9 minus 2 is 7. So my b is 7/3. Now I have my y-intercept and my slope, so I can write the equation of the line. Y equals m, which is negative 1/3, x plus b, which is 7/3. So just a different way of getting the same exact answer.